DJ Wolf Live. All right. Here it is on the midweek. I think the day is the 8th, if I'm not mistaken. May 8th, 2025. Wow. Can you believe it? Trump's been off for 6 months I'll leave it at that. I ain't want to talk about that. I don't even want to talk about that fool right now. I mean, I've done enough videos on him, to cover all the stuff that I've been talking about him for years and years, and no one listens anyway. Don't matter. So anyway, if you want to look at my videos, go look up DJ Book Live Trump. You'll find it. Anyway, I want to talk about this. I've been hearing a lot about, the Shannon Sharp situation, something I hadn't talked about. I'm a huge fan of him as a player. I'm a huge fan of his body work on sports shows. I'm a huge fan of him on his YouTube show, Club Shay Shay, as a fellow YouTube content creator. Big fan of him. I watch him all the time. I was there. Well, I wasn't there. I saw the episode the weekend premiere of Cat Williams. I knew that was going to be a big deal. But wow, 68 million views. That's insane. That's bigger than most television numbers. But anyway, his recent troubles involving a snow bunny. I think that's kept. I think there's something went down where he was supposed to be getting some big contract. I think he was about to get a TV deal or something. Don't quote me on it. But it was something to do with a big deal, some big thing contract he was gonna get. I don't know. I forgot. I don't exactly remember what it was for, but it was huge. And I guess it got turned down after they found out the allegation about him supposedly had sexual misconduct with this girl, but he said it was consensual. And for the most part, I do tend to believe that, because you got some women out here just treacherous as hell. Especially when they knew that he had the money. And they said the girl allegedly had asked him for half of the money contract he was supposed to be getting. Yeah. So that's why I said sound like cap anyway. On her part. But I don't necessarily blame Shannon for dating snow bunnies. Even when I was in my 20s, I dated a few of myself. All right. What the hell? This bus slipping and sliding around here. Yeah, you better pull over, buddy. But anyway, get around there for you. Anyway, I saw a few videos about that, and of course, black women, they make it. And you remember back years ago when a lot of the players in sports, especially NFL, NBA, they were getting the big contracts, particularly NFL too. About they leave the neighborhood and go get the big money, and then they don't come back and get our women. You know what? I don't blame them for not doing it, because y'all treat them like crap anyway, and including mamas too. I can tell you some stories about that. I ain't gonna go into it right now. But the thing of it is, the way women talk to you, whether it be in the hood, or anywhere else, it's you got many of them just talk down to you. You got some mamas talk down to the sons. I've had my mother do it with me. He is a kid. Wow. What a great way to motivate your kids, Mom. Nothing better to motivate your kids than to talk down to your sons. I've seen it happen too many times. Wow. It's ridiculous. And a lot of these mothers wonder why their sons are the way they are. Really? First of all, just like you build up your daughters, you're supposed to build up your sons the same way. Well, not the same way. You're supposed to build up your sons too. Really, seriously. A lot of them don't. There was one instance I could tell you about where a guy, I think he had a choice between Florida State and another school, and he wanted to go to Florida State. I think LSU. I can't think of the player's name. This was like years ago. And his mom and grandma was sitting right next to him, and they were trying to get him to go to one school. I think he chose Florida State though, and they had a fit because I think LSU was trying to convince the grandmother and mother to get him to go there, and they probably was going to get some kick, and I'm sure they won't get some kickbacks as a result of that. And they were pissed. They walked out. It's on video. I wish I could find it. It was on video. They literally walked out. And they kept forgetting the guy was 18, 19 years old. He could make his own decision as a man. He didn't need y'all to make that decision for him. Either way, he had a scholarship. Should have been happy. And they weren't. You know? He's like, I'm going where I want to go, not where you want me to go. It's my decision. You know? Let him be a man. And that's a prime example of what I'm talking about. And you got guys who marry women, right? With the best of intentions. The woman supposedly has the best intentions with the man. Why are these fools constantly driving like this on me every morning? Every morning, you do the same stupid stuff. 70 miles an hour, you're gonna ride somebody's bump. Anyway, so you know, guys marry women. You know, a lot of good men marry women with the best of intentions, and that woman, even though they may be slightly opposites track, well, they say that they do. One day decide to change on you. Change for no damn reason. You know, it's a lot of variations why they do. Maybe they think the man's born, but in some cases you got men who go out there and give the woman the world, give them everything. You know, and in some cases not the most high dollar value men. You know, but pretty daggone close, and it still ain't enough. You know. You got women out there like that, and this is me. I know some people won't get mad if I say it. I'm going on limb. Some of our women are spoiled as hell, very spoiled, because there's never enough. You know, you got that songs like "What Have You Done For Me Lately?" Can you pay my telephone bills? You know, here's my thing. You're supposed to be an independent woman. Why would it take you to get a man to get in a relationship with you to pay your telephone bill? Why would it take him pay your telephone bills to get in a relationship with you? You know, this so-called Miss Independent woman. You know, values have gone out the window over the years, man. Women don't believe in it no more. I mean, women don't, you know, but guys, I think a lot of guys don't believe it anymore because a lot of women don't believe it no more. They don't. It's ridiculous. It's unsettling, and they wonder why. I know I have nieces and nephews. I have several of them on both sides of the fence. None of them are married. None of them are married. Not one. Yeah. One of them. I think just turned, did he turn 40? The other one about turned 50 to come by another year or so. Never been married. One got kids, the other one don't. Neither one been married. There's no traditional marriage anymore. Marriage is out the window, man. The divorce rates are high. It's too much of a push and pull in relationships anymore. Marriage is not the same thing. It doesn't mean nothing no more. It don't. You think it do, but it really don't. Don't mean anything anymore. Some of us it does. Others it doesn't mean a damn thing, even if you're married now. That's really sad. The tradition holds no water anymore. It no longer holds it. Years ago it did. You know. Years ago it meant something. It meant to be proud for a woman to be taking the name of her husband or her, you know, her significant other. As a man, it meant to be something to be married to a woman that you love, you care about, who stood by your side and help raise your kids. Today, it's not like that anymore. There's too many infiltrations of people in people's ear about no, you don't need that, man. You can do better than that, blah blah blah, and go for the money and all other stuff, and you know, he look like a nerd, and all kinds of stuff, stuff that people are just like are so negative about you, about men. And in some cases, with some guys, it's the same. In some cases, it's the same thing. But most cases, I see is mostly women doing that. That's why it won't work. I told somebody one time. I told a woman one time. I said, men and women aren't. I don't think, for the most part, right, especially in this day and age, men and women aren't meant to be married to each other. And I'm not saying, I'm not promoting anything LGBT or nothing like that. And I have nothing personally against LGBT. I had some LGBT friends over the years, good friends. But what I'm saying is, in traditional marriages don't mean anything anymore. It's really sad. That's kind of what the book of the Bible is based on. The Bible's based on that. But in this day and age, it means nothing to people. Don't mean jack. It don't mean a bit of jack to anybody or anyone anymore. That's just really sad. What's really sad and pitiful? That Trump decided to mask himself as the Pope in the AI picture. That's ridiculous. The Pope now. You mean tell me you ain't got nothing else better to do but to look at yourself being a pompous ass? Because we're in trouble right now. And what I'm talking about the marriage, that's just only a small portion. But we're in trouble. I had to say that, man. It just, nobody takes anything serious no more. And marriage is one of them. Just a small portion of what things that people don't take seriously anymore. We don't. It's sickening to me. It's very sickening to me that we don't. There's a lot of stuff just tossed in the garbage. We don't need that. What's marriage? What is love? It's really sad, man. The more I think about that, the sad I truly feel, man. Because now it's just, these women got this independent mentality. Beyonce, now look, tickets are ridiculously high. And you know what? Some of the same women won't spend that kind of money on their kids or on their husbands. Them high price ass tickets. I know somebody did that about a year or two ago, and had to walk to the stadium from their car. Yeah. On top of that, that's insane. And had damn the nosebleeds that cost almost $1,000. Really? Was that really worth it? You can't even sniff her from that far. I'm just saying though. But that's where our priorities are going. See, $900 tickets to go see somebody who could probably buy your city. They could. Just saying. It's insane to me. It's completely effing insane. Could buy your city. Sure good. It's crazy, folks. I don't know. Well, it's 15 minutes in. I'm about to cut out. Ain't nobody watching, but I just had to get this off my chest. Y'all check it out. I'm going to update this podcast and see what you think.